One day, boy, gone see me, baby. Gone see me, baby. Come down the road. You have my pardon, pardon in the apron, oh Lord. Gone see the governor, said release my man.
So you join me here on a 4-acre gravel pit. I've just dropped down for tonight, but this is going to be an ongoing thing. The conditions look absolutely incredible. We've got a southwest wind which is actually getting stronger through the night, and we've got a pressure drop in the morning, so it's looking absolutely cock on. Also, further to this, I've been slipping a bit of bait in the last couple of weeks, so let's see if we can snare one, eh? Mega common, lovely character fish, that one. Well happy with that. Second bite of the morning. Unfortunately I lost the other one, got it sort of all the way in to about 10 yards out and it just fell off, so I'm well happy with this one. Yeah, we have mega conditions this morning as well, got big low pressure coming in. So yeah, it looks absolutely mega. I think it probably looks good for another one, let's hope. But I've got to be off in a few hours. So let's get this one back, see if we can get that rod back out, snare another one, eh? Well happy with that. Yeah, I'm fishing quite a shallow area. I'd say it's about 3 feet. It comes up from about 4.5 foot. And just on the top of the ledge is lovely clean gravel, so short hook links, inline leads, and yeah, I'm going to give it a hit of bait. The birds ain't really been that much of an issue. I think it's because of the water clarity, so yeah, they ain't been too much of an issue, but I'm going to put out a lot of crumb as well, just try and keep some scent in the area, and then if the birds are a pain, obviously once I've gone, then yeah, you should keep some bait on the spot. But yeah, I think that's it for this session. So there's that nice low 20 common, character, lovely fish from the water like this. So yeah, I'll be back down in a couple of days, and let's hope it carries on, eh? Right, so we're back down the pit. It's been 2 days since I've stuck that bait in. We've got phenomenal conditions coming in this evening and through the night. We've got a big southwesterly with the pressure dropping through the night, so it looks absolutely bang on for it. And given the 2 bites the other day, I'd say it looks really good. So I've already got 3 rods on the spot. So let's see if we can snare another one. Bring it on. So we've had another one. Bite come yesterday about 6 PM. I was just taking some stills on the camera and the left hand rods. I've literally received a couple of bleeps on the left hand rod. I knew it was a bite. I'm fishing at range, probably about 110 yards to a tree on an island. Picked up the rod, it's kited left off the shallow water into the deeper water, and yeah, had a bit of a battle with it. Ended up down my left hand margin trying to do me in some reeds, and to add to the nightmare, I had a big log hanging off the line at the top of the leader. I did manage to get some footage, but the framing ain't great, but you can see what's going on. Yeah, always a bit of a nightmare netting them when you've got something above the leader like that, and it had some weight to it as well. So yeah, mega battle with that. I was just about to bring the rods in to redo them for the night, and yeah, it's gone. So yeah, lucky I didn't bring them in. So yeah, we're going to keep plodding along today. I've got till about 12 o'clock. I could probably stretch it out a little bit longer, but I've got a few bits to do. So, but yeah, we had a cold night last night, and with the lake being shallow, I think it just switched them off. So I think a bit of sun today will get them moving about. The area that I'm fishing is area around an island, and you've got to buy like a bar either side of the island, and yeah, when the sun gets on it, they start moving up and down the island and up and down the bars. So I can imagine there's a good chance of a day bite. But we're going to plod along until about 12 o'clock. I'm going to redo the rods in a minute. I've been picked up by a couple of coots this morning, and woke up to a family of tufties over the spot. So no doubt they've been diving on me while I've been sleeping. So, but yeah, I'm going to redo the rods, and yeah, let's try and nick another one. Right, there you go, mid-20. I was just about to bring the rods in to redo them, to get ready for the night, and it's gone, left-hand rod. Mega. So a little bit about this venue. It's a 4.5 acre gravel pit. The stock's partly unknown. A couple of my friends have had them to mid-30s. I've had them to mid-20s. There's a lake next door. Over the years there's been a few slipped in from there, but no one fishes it. No one fishes it. I've been given the opportunity to fish it. I did actually start on here in February, but if you remember February, we had so much rain, and basically at one end of the lake they've built a causeway, and all the mud is run off into the lake and turned it like a tea colour. And for any of you that have fished a crystal clear gravel pit, when the water clarity goes like that, fishing is very, very difficult. I feel like in the spring you need the sun. If the water clarity isn't that great, then I feel like the rays don't penetrate as deep, and yeah, I feel like they take a long time in the spring to really start, you know, sort of switching on when the water clarity is like that. I've done 3 nights over the course of 3 weeks, and I just weren't feeling it. It just wasn't good for it. I even baited an area, just couldn't get a bite. So I went elsewhere for March, and I thought, you know, I'll come back when the water clarity is a little bit better and the conditions get a bit better. So here I am, I'm back now. There is one particular fish in here that I wouldn't mind catching. I mean, I'm not too sure if it's still in here, but if it turns up, then that's an absolute bonus. If not, I'm happy catching the others, especially for a venue that, you know, you've got to yourself. I think that's a very, very rare opportunity in today's angling world. Hats off and thank you to Jack for giving me this opportunity, and also it gives other people an opportunity to see what's in here, you know, from the syndicate next door. So hopefully we'll have a few. I'm going to keep plodding along. I'm going to be fishing this for the next month. I'm going to be pre-baiting areas, keep the bait going in. And let's hope we have a few, eh? I'm going to soak this up because, yeah, it's a very rare opportunity, so we'll keep you updated. So I held it out till about 11 o'clock in that other swim. I just felt like I wasn't on them, so I've packed up. I've come to the other end of the lake, known as the Causeway end, and I've spotted a few fish. But unfortunately, they soon moved out, and I think the opportunity slipped away. But we had a heavy frost last night, and it's one of them spring mornings where as the morning goes on, you're taking off more and more layers, you know, and it's turned into a really beautiful day. I really thought there'd be a floater opportunity or opportunity in the edge for one, but it seems to have pushed out. Water clarity isn't that great up this end because of the causeway, so I'm going to call it a day and I'll be back Friday. Right, we're back down the pit. I'm in a total different swim to the swim I was in before, and a total different end of the lake, so I'm at the causeway end. I come down during the week and realised there was a lot of fish down here, and I've been on the lake 2 to 3 hours, and I've already seen about 15 shows in total, so I've definitely made the right decision here. I just didn't feel like I was getting up that other end of the lake as much as I would have liked them to be. I'm going to call that swim up the other end the sponge swim, and one of the reasons for that is that there was a sofa floating across the lake about a year ago, and they did try getting it out. It's broken up into multiple pieces, and now we've got a big sponge in that swim. So as the swims ain't got names on here, I'm going to call that the sponge swim. So just as a reference, we've got the sponge swim at one end of the lake, and we've got the causeway at the other end. So yeah, I've got the rods out, all 3 rods out on the spots, found some nice sort of clean areas, shallow, as the lake's shallow. My deepest rod is 5 foot, the other 2 are 3 foot. So yeah, let's see what tonight brings, and hopefully we can snare one. Right, so we've actually moved swims. I'm still at the causeway end, but I've moved opposite to where I was fishing. I had 4 bites in that swim. I lost 2 catfish, had a tench 5 o'clock this morning, and had a small carp probably about 12 o'clock last night. Not ideal. It's been one of them sessions where a lot's happened but nothing's happened. So yeah, I've come over the other side. One of the reasons for that is that we've got a bit more depth over here. So I don't want to be hooking fish, don't want to be losing them. Obviously struggled with them cats, getting them up to my side of the bar. There's like a bit of a bar there. And also there's a bush on this side of the island which I know that the carp like, so, and I feel like the weather's starting to get primed for that because it is a real shallow spot. It's only about 2 foot deep there, but they move up and down the island and they really tuck into this bush, so I can access that bush from this this swim. So yeah, this is my final call for my last night. I've got to be off first thing in the morning. I've got to go to work unfortunately, so I've got to be up quite early and pack up and get off to work. So we'll spend the last night in here. Hopefully we nick a proper one. That one that I had last night was a really small carp. I'd say it was probably six pounds, something like that. One of the ones that's sort of grown on in here. So let's see out tonight in here and let's see if we can nick a proper one, eh? Right, so we've just lost one at the death of it. Absolutely gutted. Absolutely gutted. Literally everything's packed up. Obviously the rods are the last thing that you bring in. Left hand rod's gone. It's about fished 60 yards to a bush on an island. It's come straight off the bush and run across the open water and straight in my left hand edge. There's quite a few sunken trees there, so it's gone straight into a sunken tree. I've had to go out in the boat. Unfortunately, someone's left the boat with no oars, So I managed to find a big stick, you know, not ideal, but best I could do, you know, in the thick of it. And yeah, by the time I've got to it, it's just transferred the hook into a branch, and yeah, that was the end of that. But I was literally just about to reel the rods in, so absolutely gutted. You can't win them all though, can you? Right, bring on next Friday then.
I am the little red rooster, too lazy to crow for day. I am the little red rooster, too lazy to crow for day. Keep everything in the farmyard upset in every way. The dogs begin to bark, hounds begin to howl. Dogs begin to bark, hounds begin to howl. Watch out, strange camp people, little red roosters on the prowl. If you see my little red rooster, please drive him home.
Right, so I got down yesterday, which would have been Friday, at about 4 p.m. But I actually come down during the week on Tuesday to stick some bait in. I made up some markers with some old bottles, obviously some line, and you know, a couple 3-ounce leads. Went out in the boat, found some spots, dropped the markers, and I put a bucket of maize on each one. So I thought I really want to, you know, start getting an edge. And this is basically at the causeway end where they've been spending a lot of time. So I thought rather than keep chasing them around the lake, I'm going to bring them to me. So anyway, got the rods out probably about 6 o'clock, received a bite straight away, had one of the smaller commons, you know, like one of the homegrowns in here, but that was shitting out maize skins and all sorts, you know, all over the mat, so that was a positive sign. Anyway, about 2 o'clock received a bite on the left hand rod, that was the tench, so I redone that rod, and then about 3 o'clock had a bite from the bush. I'm actually fishing 2 rods on the bush on the island, and anyway, turned out to be a catfish. I thought it'd gone through the other line because the other rod started going, like, you know, and I thought it'd gone through the other line. So I sort of just ignored it, played this cat in, bullied it under the tip, you know, got it into the net. It'd actually gone through the other rod as well when it, you know, when I got in close. So anyway, I unhooked it and I thought, right, I've got to redo them 2 other rods because it's clearly, you know, moved the lead. So I picked up my right hand rod that's fishing to the bush, and yeah, I've sort of wound and I sort of felt it grating on something, and then it's gone solid, and I thought obviously it's just, there's a lot of sunken logs and stuff in here, so thinking obviously, you know, it's dragged the line into a sunken log, and I've sort of brought it back and hooked it. So anyway, I thought I'd put quite a bit of pressure on it because obviously I'm thinking I'm just snagged on the bottom. I've got a 30-pound braid. I thought I might be able to pull it through. But then I thought, you know, there's a boat there. Let's go out in the boat. So I'm out in the boat, 3 o'clock in the morning. I've got about 10 yards from the bank. And I felt a kick. And it's just freed itself. So I've now got a fish on. That was a double take. So anyway, I'm playing this fish out in the middle of the lake. It's pitch black. Obviously I've got my head torch with me. It pops up in front of me and it's my target fish. Now, I ain't got a net because I ain't took the net with me because as far as I'm concerned, I'm snagged on the bottom. And I've still got the catfish in the net. So now I'm stuck out in the middle of the lake with my target fish on, and I'm thinking, like, you know, this ain't a good situation really, is it? You know, and I've got a big stick which I've been using as a punt for the boat, so I ain't even got proper oars. So I thought, right, I've got two options here. I can either flick the bow arm open, obviously just let the line go slack, and then just, you know, quickly try and get back to the bank and then play it in from there, or I can put the back wind on, hold the rod in one hand, keep a little bit of tension on the hook, which was the better option for me because there's a lot of snags in here and I wouldn't want a fish running around, you know, on a sort of slack line, you know. So that's what I've done. So I'm just punt in one hand, and then I've got, you know, the rod in the other with the back wind, just slowly letting a bit of line off as I'm gaining towards the bank, and yeah, just keeping enough tension on the tip just to sort of like keep a bit of tension on the hook. So anyway, I've made it back to the bank. Obviously I've still got this catfish in the net. The fish is pretty tired by then, so I've basically just sort of reeled it in, had a few thumps under the tip and managed to get it over the net. So my target fish, so yeah, the one, basically one that we thought was gone, like, you know, so absolutely mega story behind it. Obviously not ideal, but when they go over the coals like that, you know, that just adds to the flavour of the capture. So well chuffed with that. That's going to be me done on here now. I'm going to do another night because I've got another night. So I'm going to do another night. If we catch another one of the originals, then absolutely fantastic. But I've got the one that I wanted. So yeah. So bring it on. Happy days. Absolutely mega. Enjoyed my time on here. On to the next one. Right, R3 this morning, had to go out in the boat, and after a bit of faffing about, we've got the target fish. The one I said that we're not too sure if it's still in here, but look at that for a character. That is absolutely mega. And what a way to finish off on such an awesome venue as well. Yeah, I mean, look at it. Absolutely mega. And what a battle. Mega, mate. Right, so I've strung it out for another night. I did have a tench 2 o'clock this morning, but the temperature dropped down to around 0 degrees and the lake has just switched off with it being shallow. So I did catch that character common. That's the one I come here for. We wasn't too sure if it was still in here. It hasn't had a capture for 2 years, and that's its only ever 4th known capture as well. No one knows where it comes from. We know it's an old fish. It's just been left to do its thing in here for many of years. So yeah, I've really enjoyed my quiet time on here and angling for that Pacific one. There's not a lot of them in here, so yeah, I'm well chuffed with that. I can move on to my next venue now. We're still in prime time. You know, we're sort of coming into the end of April now, so yeah, it's a wicked time to be starting on somewhere else. But yeah, till next time, be lucky in your angling, and I'll see you on the next one.